Tonight.
Not on my watch will you disrespect another woman.
These 6 women had a dream, but it all came crashing down.
There were 6 different steering wheels in one car.
Those are the craziest bipolar bitches I have ever met.
Backstabbing.
You changed the rules and I don't like it, damn it.
Suspicion.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Either we gonna do this and tell the truth or we not. I ain't here to play with you.
And complete lack of respect.
Sandra gave her the finger. Is that your business? When I'm talking to you, I'll look at you.
If you do it to her, you do it to me.
Can Iyanla get them to trust each other ever again?
You're choosing to suffer.
Next.
Life happens to everybody, even me. Life didn't care that I had written a bunch of books, traveled the world speaking, married the love of my life, lived in my dream home, and made a bunch of money. And then life left me broke and feeling broken. The only way to get back was to do the work. I did my work and put my life back together piece by piece. I am Iyanla Van Zandt, and I am here to help you do your work. I'm here in the Windy City, Chicago, a city of 1.3 million women, and 6 of them can't get along. One of them wrote me. Her name is Zandra. She was a visionary, the leader of a group of 6 women that came together to do something good for other women, but they got in their own way. So I'm here now to help them heal themselves, to heal the group, because I understand if you heal one woman, you heal all women. It was a little more than a year ago when 39-year-old Zandra handpicked 5 strong women to form a blogging group. They called themselves the 6 Brown Chicks.
Our whole motto was love, life, getting rid of the drama.
Each one of us had our own separate niche.
We all were excited about it. I mean, who wouldn't want to be a 6 Brown chick who's empowering women at the same time? It was an amazing idea.
In just a few weeks, the 6 Brown Chicks had caught the attention of a local TV station. Webisodes were produced, and a potential show was in the works.
There's never been a show like it. There's never been a group like it. There was nothing like that Chicago had seen.
But soon, the 6 Brown Chicks became one huge mess.
We set out to prove women get along. And not only did we not prove that, we became vicious after.
Oh yeah, women can be vicious with each other. Backstabbing, jealousy, it can lead to a breakdown, even a breakup. And that's what happened with the 6 Brown Chicks. Now, there's no TV show, their blog has stalled, and their relationships have been ripped apart. I want to see firsthand what I'm getting myself into, so I asked the producers to show me some of the interviews they taped with the 6 Brown Chicks a few days ago. All right, let's roll it, boo.
They mucked it up. They mucked it up. Shoya, Kay especially, Gina, Dr. Daj, and Yanni did not get that it was a group.
She created the vision, and they mucked it up?
That's right.
Wow, that's deep. Okay.
They're good people, individually, but collectively, those are the craziest bipolar bitches I have ever met in my life.
I felt like I needed to get out of the group because the group had become jealous of me.
Shoya went from being a person to this brand, this dynasty of Shoya that nobody understood.
Shoya wants to be paid for being Shoya. She wants to sit around and be fabulous and just get a check.
I am the Diana Ross of the group.
Collectively, we were the 6 Brown Chicks, but there was a subset operating that I secretly titled the Broke Brown Chicks. Who I refer to as the Broke Brown Chicks, the ones that were balking so much about money, were Can and Shoya.
Zandra was the demise of 6 Brown Chicks, period.
When Zandra started taking people down off the website and removing their content, that's when the stuff kind of hit the fan.
Zandra was definitely a master manipulator. She would stab you in the back.
I would describe Zandra as, I would kind of say a gold digger.
Ego, greed, sloth, bitchiness, cattiness, All of that, it's them. Everything we were not supposed to be.
In 6 Brown Chicks, there were 6 different steering wheels in one car.
Kay is the youngest, so Kay gets a pass on a lot of things except for the lying. That was the beginning of the end, and I think that everyone else just got disgusted.
I left because this woman hurt me. She ruined and tainted my vision of women of color in powerful positions.
So she's the victim.
Total victim.
She's the victim. Her and Zandra are the victim. Isn't that interesting? Go ahead.
I guess I want an autopsy of what happened. What killed it?
A relationship autopsy?
An autopsy of this group.
Oh, yeah. Oh, she gonna get that. I've got 6 strong women with 6 different stories and 6 different agendas. They haven't all been in the same room in more than a year, so I'm going to put them all together in lockdown. They are going to eat together, sleep together, and no one leaves until this mess is fixed. But before I bring these women together, I have an idea. It's a little out of the box and a real eye-opener. I want the women to actually see how the others in the group view them. I paired them up and asked them to meet me at Carson's, a Chicago department store. First up, Zandra, the creator of the group, and Kayanne, the youngest, who feels betrayed by Zandra. Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm well.
So I see another chick.
Oh, it's her.
Her? Her who?
That's Sandra. Looking like sunshine.
Are you excited? You look excited. Don't get too excited. Hi.
Hello. Hello.
Wow. Hello. Hello. Is that hard for you? No? It should be. Is that hard for you?
Awkward.
Yeah. This is unacceptable to me. Hi. After this woman stepped into your vision, it was your vision. And she stepped in to serve you. And what you give her is a high. So, it's her fault. That's what you said. That would be a yes or no.
Yes.
Yes, you said it was.
Very much so.
And so hurt, that you can't move forward with your life. A little dramatic. Look, excuse me. Okay, I didn't give you your instructions.
Oh.
Let me give you your instructions. From this moment on until I speak to you again, you are on silence. That means you have nothing to say. Here's your assignment. I want you to find an outfit for her that represents how you see her in your mind. Not how she is, not how you would like her to be. What would that outfit look like? I want you to find it and dress her in it. I also have Gina dressing Shoya like the broke brown chick she calls her behind her back.
See? This is how I see Shoya. I could totally see her in this.
So even though she said that stuff about you, she does see you in a pretty good light. That's good to know. And Dodge will dress Yanni, the eldest, to show her the respect she deserves. Oh my gosh. If you show up everywhere in your life, demonstrating how you look right now, you will never abdicate your throne again. While shopping with Dodge, I uncover a heartbreaking issue that she's dealing with.
I'm a caregiver for my husband who has terminal brain cancer.
And how have your sisters helped you? How have these chicks helped you?
A couple of them have called and checked.
Do they know your husband has terminal brain cancer?
Yeah.
And they haven't shown up to support you?
Not to the degree that I really expected, which was painful.
Have you accepted the fact that you're losing him?
No.
Are you shut down?
The full hurt. Maybe.
Are you shut down? Are you shut down?
Maybe.
What would it take for you to just let your heart break?
I can't.
Dodge is on the verge of a breakdown and no one has stepped up. This group has a lot of explaining to do when they all come together tomorrow. When I check in with Kayanne, I see she's making progress creating the vision she has of Zandra.
The reason I picked this shoe is because it is ugly, but it also has patent leather on it, which is my favorite.
Okay.
So sometimes even things that I like can go ugly.
Ooh.
So
Give her her outfit. She'll have to go try it on so we can see it.
you know she's pissed off right now.
Uh-huh.
She's right on target.
Are you dressed?
Yes, ma'am. I'm dressed.
Come on, sister girl. Come on out and talk to me. So what's happening? Tell me where you are with this. What's your take on this?
It looks like Morticia.
It looks like Morticia. Well, what does it represent to you?
Spite.
Spite.
She knows I would never wear black. And she knows I would never wear these shoes.
Did she know that you would rip her things down off the blog without talking to her? Did she know that?
No.
Huh. So you think this is spite? Come with me. Remember what we talked about?
Yes.
Tell her. Tell her.
I want you to know that you hurt me.
Tell her what it felt like. I got your back. I got your back.
You ruined something in me.
Tell her what it felt like for you.
You hurt me. I feel like you abandoned me.
Yeah, tell her.
I feel like you betrayed me.
Yes, come on.
And I feel like you let me down.
Yes.
I believed in you.
And you thought it was spite. It was your vision. And when you are a visionary, people come forward to serve you, not to spite you. Coming up, not on my watch will you disrespect another woman. I'm in Chicago to support a group of women who can't get along. They call themselves the 6 Brown Chicks, bloggers who came together to empower women. But their egos, jealousy, and backstabbing squashed their dream and destroyed their relationships. Zandra, the creator, wrote to me asking for help.
They mucked it up. They mucked it up.
But many of the others say the blame lies with Zandra.
With Zandra, it was more so it's either my way or it's the highway.
If she would get mad at you or whatever, she would snatch you off the website, just like she snatched me off of it. She snatched Kay-Ann off it.
It's been a year since the 6 Brown Chicks have been together, but today they will come face to face under one roof and a new set of rules.
I would at least like to leave with some clarity as to, some healing as to how I can believe in people again.
Last time we were all in the same room together was over a year ago. Over a year ago. Yeah.
I don't know, to see how this whole thing plays out.
I'm nervous about seeing everyone, and I don't know what to expect.
Not too crazy about seeing Gina after yesterday. See what else she had to say about me.
Could be tense. Some unhashed feelings are gonna come out, and some words are going to be said that no one's going to be able to leave. You know, one of us always are able to escape, and now we can't.
Today I'm dressed like I'm walking to the gallows because of Kay-Ann chose this for me. It could definitely get nasty. You know, especially if people lie. I'm not going to let anyone get away with lying.
Oh, hello! Excuse me. As a woman, you can't just walk in the room and pass me and don't greet me. I had you all dress each other yesterday. Kay-Ann dressed Zandra all in black. Why?
I see her as dark, dowdy, layered, of just hurt and disappointment.
Her hurt or your?
My hurt. It's about me.
So you put your hurt on your sister. We have a tendency to do that, you know. Put our hurt on each other. Did you ever consider how hurt she might be?
No.
Gina, you dressed Shoya
Yes, I did.
yesterday.
Yes, I did.
Yes, okay.
And I see her as vibrant And I thought it was a pretty outfit.
But you didn't feel when you heard that comment about you being a broke brown chick.
No,
what did you
that
feel?
wasn't what I meant. Okay, go ahead.
I felt hurt. I felt that it was a typical Gina response.
What does that mean, a typical Gina response? I'll shut up.
I feel Gina judges people based on how much money they have.
Why do you think that?
Because everything about you is about money.
I'm not saying that you weren't able to do certain things. I'm not saying that you would discuss, yes.
Can you just own that you said something nasty about your
I
sister?
own it,
behind your
yes,
back?
I did. I will own that. I own that. I
What do
did
you
say
own?
that.
What do you own?
I own that I said that if you had income, it would take the
No.
pressure
Listen to
off.
what I said. Can you just own that you said something nasty and vicious about your sister behind her back?
The intent wasn't vicious, but if you perceive it that way, then
No.
yes. It wasn't.
No. You're not going to make her responsible for what comes out of your mouth. It was nasty. And it had a nasty energy and a nasty underbelly. And until you can see that and own it, can't heal. And that's what you got to understand as women. How you be in yourself determines how you show up in the room. So either we gonna do this and tell the truth or we not. I ain't here to play with you. Let me tell you why. The universe of life called the six of you together to do a powerful work. For you to bring your talent, your gift, for you to bring your wisdom, for you to bring your vision, you baby girl to bring your voice. You to bring what you know in the world, brought you together to serve the women of Chicago. And this is how you behave? Really? Really? I think it's time to shake things up. If we are going to spend the next 24 hours together, everyone needs to come clean. You know what I want to do now? I want to take the masks off and put our cards on the table. I want you all to go upstairs and wash your makeup off. Every ounce of it. I don't want lipstick. I don't want an eyelash. I don't want a blush. If you got hair, I want it in a ponytail. Let's go. All the way to the top floor.
That's my natural state.
Do you remember our agreement yesterday?
Yes, ma'am.
So you want us to go?
All the way to the top floor.
Do we bring our
And everything you need will be there.
Okay, fantastic.
Okay.
I'm gonna break my nail.
I was gonna do it that way.
I'm thinking this is unacceptable. That's what I'm thinking.
I like my hair better down, but it was up while I was cooking anyways.
Downstairs.
I just have to take off my lip gloss, which is like my claim to fame.
This is insane.
Sandra still got some, you still got some eyeshadow.
You mind your business.
You gotta take it all off. Everything. Nope.
This is abuse.
Coming up.
Is that your business? When I'm talking to you, I look at you.
Not on my watch will you disrespect another woman. It has been an emotional day here in Chicago. These women were a part of a popular online blog known as the Six Brown Chicks. They couldn't get along and their blog and relationships broke down. I now have them on lockdown. They are not to leave this house for the next 24 hours. These women have been struggling to tell each other the truth and hiding behind their masks. So I asked them to remove their makeup. I want them to be vulnerable and open. To get them there, I have a little card game. One I'm sure these women have never played. I have special cards that I'm going to shuffle and deal out to the women randomly. The words that are on these cards represent the things that they need to feel, deal, and heal. It's the way they've treated each other. Things like rude, needy, angry. Imagine this being dealt to you. Would you own it, or would you say that it describes someone else in the room? The Six Brown Chicks are going to have to own up to some of the bad behavior they've been dealing out to each other. Lay your cards on the table, please. Miss Shoya, lay your cards on the table. Ooh. Now here's the problem. If it's in your hand, it's in the room. And if it's in the room, everybody's got a little piece. All right, what you got?
Harsh, disappointed.
Whose name would you put on those two cards in this group?
Zandra, Kayanne.
Talk to me about that, Zandra.
Harsh, I don't have good interpersonal communication skills, especially if I felt wronged.
Talk to me about how you felt disappointed.
Kayanne, when you abruptly left and then said that I said or told you to get out of the group or leave the group, did not happen.
Did that?
And that hurt my feelings. That
What
hurt
hurt
my
your feelings?
feelings.
That she left or that she lied about
That
why
she
left?
left.
Okay. What did you feel?
Betrayed. And what I need is for her to acknowledge that she lied.
Then that gives her control of your power.
I cannot get past that just yet.
So you felt hurt.
I felt hurt.
You felt angry.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
What's your two cards?
I have sneaky and accusatory.
Okay, put it down. Whose name would you put on sneaky?
I would have to give it to Zandra.
Okay, my experience of you
My
is
experience
sneaky.
of you is sneaky.
Is?
It's with the technology on the site. You have power to take everyone's things off without consensus.
Or communication.
Or communication is a little sneaky.
You don't have passwords.
Excuse
Oh,
me.
no,
You
I
don't-
blog.
I do.
Excuse me.
Okay, so then clarify because
Excuse
your ass is
me.
lying.
Excuse me.
They have
Excuse me.
passwords.
Excuse me.
They have
Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. This is
We don't have
feedback.
access to the blog.
Let me explain the rules and the boundaries.
Okay.
You are the leader. You have to make space for your people to share their experiences.
Okay.
If you can't receive feedback from your crew, this ship is going down. What's on your cards?
Condescending and narrow-minded.
All righty. Whose name are you going to put on that?
I'll own it for myself.
How are you condescending?
I would always talk to my husband about me not really trusting anybody.
Well, see, that's the condescending thing right there. For me to be in a group of 6 women working and writing to support women, and I don't trust y'all. It's condescending for you to go home and talk to a man about how you feel about the women you call your sisters. That's condescending, boo. What about narrow-minded?
I don't know.
It's in your hand.
It doesn't apply to me.
It's in your hand.
Can I pick another
It's
card?
it's
Can I
in
pick another
your
card?
hand.
I can't pick another card.
That's the other thing you do. When something you don't like happens, then you change the rules.
Well, the leader taught us to do that. So what's wrong with that?
There's only one. That was a dig. Are you aware of that?
I know, but what's wrong with that?
But have you ever said to your sister, Zandra, you changed the rules, and it's confusing, frustrating?
No.
Well, say it now instead of being nasty. Say it to her.
You
Zandra,
changed the rules and I don't like it, damn it.
Sandra gave her the
Sorry,
finger.
Daddy.
Zandra gave her the finger?
Is that your business? When I'm talking to you, I'll look at you.
Not on my watch. Not on my watch will you disrespect another woman. Not on my watch. Because if you do it to her, you do it to me. And you don't have permission to disrespect me. Are we clear?
We are clear.
Thank you. Tell me, based on everything that you've heard thus far, tell me what you got for yourself from this.
I have not been transparent until today. I have not been a very nice person.
I just really want you to get this because I think that a lot of it is falling on Zandra because she was the visionary. And a lot of this responsibility and weight you have to take. But each of you have a piece in Zandra. each of you are a part of Zandra, and Zandra is a piece of each of you. There were things that you needed to show her that she did not see about herself. But there's things about yourselves that she's showing you. And your mistake would be to make this about Zandra and not about you. Okay, so pick the one you can really, really own as your behavior that contributed to the breakdown of this group. Shoya, what are you owning?
I'll own that that I was greedy in the fact that I wanted to get paid.
But you know, greed doesn't have anything to do with money. Are you aware of that? Do you know the real meaning of greedy?
Explain that to me.
Taking more than you give.
And I felt like I gave a lot. In the beginning, I felt like I was giving. In the beginning.
You were doing, were you giving?
I was giving. I was helping.
You were doing because you had a hidden agenda, which was my ultimate goal is to make money. So you weren't giving, you were investing in your own personal interest. That's different than giving.
Oh, wow. That's good. That's deep.
What did you do right, Miss Sandra?
These are the right women at the right time.
And what if this is just the universe giving you course correction?
I feel that way.
What if now that you know what doesn't work, you can be committed to create what does work? What if?
Sometimes things have to completely fall apart before it can come together.
Well, that sounds just like what an elder would say. So, would you like to have dinner?
Yes.
Coming up.
I broke down. I started all over again, all because Sandra didn't fix something. Oh my God.
It's late evening on day 2 with the 6 brown chicks. These 6 women couldn't get along, and it cost them their dream, being a voice of encouragement for women everywhere. As we break bread, their emotions are still raw. Did it ever dawn on you that you had a purpose bigger than yourself?
No. I understand it now, what that means to us as women, what that means to my daughters. And when you put it like that, it's like, oh, wow. It's a responsibility that I didn't know was mine.
But just being a woman.
Yes.
There's other women watching you. I have something for you. I got your pajamas for the night. Tonight, we are having a sleepover. I'm giving them all brown t-shirts to wear, a little team builder. I'm using sage and candlelight to create a sacred space for them to spend the night, a place where they can release whatever remains of their resentments toward one another. I think the thing that struck me most profoundly in my heart was the breakdown between you, Zandra, and Kayanne. What is the conversation that needs to happen between the two of you? Not about what you did or what you said, but about the breakdown. Talk to her.
I wanted somebody to believe in. I wanted something to follow. And I wanted to be a part of something. And when I got that opportunity, I felt like that was my calling, that was my shot, to be a part of a family. I do not have healthy relationships with women. I don't believe in a lot of women. Unless they're obligated to love me, obligated to deal with me. So I came to this table as if you were gonna fix all of that. As if 6 brown chicks was my answer. So you're disappointing me, or you not having the direction, or whatever we say was wrong. That really wasn't what was wrong. Just had all this weight on me
that I came to the table with expecting this to fix it. And when it didn't happen, I broke down, all because Sandra didn't fix something.
Oh my God.
That was already, and not that it was your fault. I'm explaining to you why this was so devastating. It made me realize I put too much outward. I should have fixed myself. I should have believed in me. You need to know that. It was not about money. It was about my loss of direction, my unhealthy relationships, me not believing in people. It was all about me.
What would you like to share with Kay-Ann about the breakdown for you?
I removed your blogs, and that should not have been done. I apologize for that. I think one of the regrets I had was that I don't think I treated you well. You are my jewel. I'm very proud of you. I did not connect with you to destroy you. That was not my intent at all. Ever, ever. I will do right by you. I do apologize. I want to atone. I want to atone.
So let me tell you how you atone. Show up fully, with a clear vision and a shared authority to serve something bigger than your brokenness. But this time, you gotta do it with heart, not your head. Is there anything else that you need to share with her?
Can you forgive me?
Yes. Can you forgive me?
Yes.
Go hug your sister. There's one topic we haven't addressed yet. Dodge's husband has terminal brain cancer, and she seems to be suffering all alone. No one in this group has stepped up to support her. Coming up, he's gonna leave you, and you're gonna need these women to hold you up. It's 1 a.m., day 3, and I've been working with the 6 Brown Chicks for more than 36 hours. I learned that Dodge's husband has terminal brain cancer, and this group has failed to step up to support her. I also see that Dodge is shut down, afraid to trust anyone with her pain. Does anybody have any feedback for the truth Dr. Dodge shared about not trusting women? Feedback, anybody?
What do you need from us as women so that you can feel secure and willing to let go to connect with us?
I showed up here for this, and that was a big step for me, huge. So the next step is kind of figuring out other things that I need to do to continue to open up.
Trust us with your heart.
That was hard to do.
Trust us with your heart. Trust us with your heart.
I'm working on it.
Trust us with your heart. Trust us with your heart. And know that no matter what happens, you're going to be okay. Trust us. Trust me with your heart. I know you can give me your heart. And I know you can trust that I won't abandon you. I know you can. Because you're here. I know you can do it. He is going to leave you. Not because he wants to. Not because he wants to. Not because he wants to. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. Not because he wants to. Because he has to. He has to answer the call. Look at me. Don't leave me. He's going to leave you. And you're going to need these women to hold you up. Don't leave me. You can trust me. You can trust me. Yes, you can. I haven't left you. I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm right here. And I'm not going to leave you. I don't care how badly you behave. I'm not going to leave you. I don't care how cold you are. I'm not going to leave you. It's a choice for you to suffer right now. Here's a choice, suffer or trust me. Your choice. What do you choose? What do you choose? Look at me. What do you choose? Suffer or trust me? I'll help you with the pain. I'll help you with the sorrow. I promise you. And I won't judge you. And you won't be weak. Lean on me. Lean on me. So you're choosing to suffer.
No.
You're choosing to suffer. You're choosing not to trust me. And you're choosing not to trust yourself. Because you can make the right choice. Yes. Yes. I know. I do. Oh, I do know. And I'm so sorry you have to go through this. You don't deserve it. But I know you can do it. Can she do it, Yanni?
Yes.
Come and tell her she can do it, Yanni. Yanni, come and tell her she can do it. Tell her she can do it. She can do it. Can she do it, Zandra? Come and tell her she can do it. Come and tell her she can do it. Don't leave her. Can she do it? Tell her she can do it. Tell her she can do it. Tell her she can do it. And let her know you'll be there. Take her back. Get behind her, Shoya. Turn around. Hold her back. Have her back.
We have you.
You can do it. Now, what if the only reason y'all came together at the time that you did was to support this sister in ushering her beloved to the other side? What if that's the only reason y'all came together? What if?
It'd be worth it. Then it would be worth it.
With you, of course.
On this summer day in Chicago, it's approaching 100 degrees in the backyard. The women are emotionally spent, but there's still one lesson left to learn. So we are going to sweat it out together. One of the things that, as women, we don't do, that we need to do, is seek counsel. And particularly in the world that we live in when there's so much going on. We must seek the counsel of our elders. I have invited 4 women to join me this morning to create a circle of wisdom. Their gift to the 6 brown chicks, guidance, strength, and love, so that each woman may grow into the sister that she was destined to be. As my grandmother told me, you never go anywhere barefaced and empty-handed. And what you give, you receive. Today you give a white rose for devotion and respect. When you get to the elder, you offer her your rose and you listen for her counsel. Kneel before your elder and present her with your gift.
Honored to
Thank
be in
you
your
so
presence.
You have a great responsibility because others will look to you. Stand in integrity. Stand tall, and they have to look up to you. God bless you. Thank you. It's already done. It's already done.
I lost my husband 12 years ago. Before that, I lost my son. But keep you some friends along the way. Don't burn all your bridges when you cross it, because you might have to come back over.
Ladies need to compromise, and we need to communicate. And we won't always agree. But we can do so much more when we go out into the world together.
When you serve with joy, enthusiasm, and excellence. Expect nothing in return. When you go out with that expectation, Just watch my words and see how good all that you give is multiplied and comes back to you. Thank you, darling. Stop. Bless you. Stop. Stay down there. Don't stop. Stay there. Stay right there. Yes, yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Yes.
I too want to benefit from the wisdom of these elders. This experience is more than a television show for me. It's my life, and I'm here to learn from it. As the day ends, each woman has the opportunity to voice forgiveness. The words simple and heartfelt.
I love you. Please forgive me.
I love you. I am so sorry that I did not do what I should have done and said what I should have said.
I am so sorry for not being there for you. Please forgive me for that.
Why can't women get along? Because we're afraid. We're afraid to be vulnerable. We're afraid to be soft. We're afraid to be hurt. Most of all, we are afraid of our power. So we become controlling and aggressive and vicious because no one taught us how not to be. Why can't women get along? Because we've been taught that it's better to be bad than to be powerful. Think about that. And in the meantime, stay in peace, not in pieces.